Just wondering, with David's victory, do you think some of the guys, like from the Israelite army, were like, I knew you can do it. I had total confidence in you. I don't know about that one. I don't know. Either way, David wins. Today, we gotta build a door and put the hardware cloth on. And I really hope I have enough cut lumber left. So I really don't want to go cut a tree down just to mill it for a door. So I need to take a measurement of this opening and go see if I have some lumber left over. What are David's brothers thinking at this moment as David walks back through camp? Just kind of like gives him the look like, yeah. Yeah, told you. I mean, I don't know. One can only assume what that conversation was like. There it is. What a mess. But 60 and a half. I think I have some left over. That's good to make a door. But yeah, just wondering what's the look he gives his brothers? Does he give him a little smirk? Is he like, told you, cowards? Like, you stood there for 40 days, did nothing. I knew I could do it. Anyway, more musings about David, but right now I gotta sift through this pile of lumber and get something useful for the door. I mean, then there is the fact of, as David walks by his brothers, got me a wife, and I got Dad, tax-free living for the rest of his life. Would you sorry suckers get him? Right side 60 and a half, left side 60 and a half. I'm gonna make it a ½ inch smaller all the way around. 23 and a half at the top, 23 and a half at the bottom. Got cut a few more pieces for some supports in the back of the wall of the chicken tractor, because they're gonna put nesting boxes in there. But I was thinking about, like, does David go back home and tell Jesse, his dad, like, hey, guess what? Like, I slayed the giant, and by the way, you get to live tax-free for the rest of your life. And I wonder, like, what's Jesse think? Like, what happened to my other 3 sons? Because I guess they couldn't do it? Because the whole point of David being sent out there wasn't to slay Goliath. The whole point was to go out there and, hey, check on your brothers and see how they're doing. Only David winds up slaying Goliath, and he gets a wife, and his dad gets to live tax-free for the rest of his life. And I just wonder, like, what's Jesse think of his 3 sons? Because they're out serving in the army, obviously. And, I mean, I don't think he really thought, I don't think he was disappointed in him. I don't know, just me just personally thinking about that. I think, I mean, because clearly you see in chapter 15 of 1 Samuel where Saul loses his anointing because he doesn't do what the Lord told him to do. He doesn't wipe everybody out. Leaves King Ahab, I don't know, one of those kings. He leaves him alive, actually, and takes the best of his animals. Anyway, Samuel comes and is like, what's this bleeding in my ears? The anointing has been removed from you. And then in chapter 16, you see Samuel at Jesse's house thinking he's going to anoint the firstborn. No, not the firstborn. What about the second one? Nope, not the second one. What about the third one? Nope. And those are the same 3 guys that show up in 17. Except back in 16, the anointing falls on David. So I kind of feel like when David goes back to tell Jesse, hey, guess what happened? Tells him the whole story. I mean, how excited would he be? He's a young teenager, or I don't know, Maybe he's not yet. Maybe he's a preteen. Maybe he's a tween. Who knows? And he's telling his dad the whole story. I think Jesse's just probably sitting there going, yeah, confirmation from the Lord that the anointing has fallen on David and rested on him and is no longer on King Saul. Then you gotta wonder, wow, my son is king. How you like it?
I like it. Handle it?
Handling the latch? Absolutely. Alright, so we had to get creative and put some little washers back here to have this part stand off to receive this latch. And it's a little tricky when you go to relatch it. Just gotta turn it down, but tricky is good.
I think it's just the conduit holding it off just a little bit so it doesn't fit completely flush.
It's either the conduit or it's that furring strip that we put in. Looks like it hits more the furring strip than the conduit. Always math.
I do not know what I'm doing.
Me neither. I'm just attempting to build some nesting boxes. So. Oop. Chicken tractor is done. I'd say 99% done. We'll caulk all these holes just to kind of prevent drippage, you know, just where screws went through, or I think you get the point, but I thought I'd give one final go around before we deploy this thing. So these are my tires. Those swivel. They do need air. I really don't like that. I wish they were solid. We are not, I don't want to lift it. I just don't want to lift it. I don't want to be one of those guys. I know everyone's like, oh, they're light. I know. Well, we probably added a lot of weight to ours, but I just didn't want to do that. So what we did do is we dropped down the hardware cloth. So it actually, the hardware cloth hangs down past these 2x4 supports. So we're hoping that will prevent critters. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. I have no idea. But we'll give it a shot. Maybe I'll run some electrical standoffs on the outside of that. I have no idea. But here you go. This is it. Chicken tractor. We are going to put the water right here. We got a little bucket. We have this bucket right here with these little drinkers. They actually have little floats in them. So this bucket will reside right there. Something like so. We put nesting boxes in the back. 4 little nesting boxes, and they're, you can't see because it's dark. They roll out, so they're sloped. We'll go around and look at those from the outside. And we put some tin on the back with my gloves. Over the nesting boxes, Got a little rollout thing here. This goes up here. We got a little latch up here. See if we can't do this one-handed. Oh, there we go. So you can look in. Look, there's an egg. It's not really an egg. It got stuck. Man, that's not going to work too good, is it? Well, that's the theory, isn't it? Right? It lays an egg, it comes back down. Hopefully it'll work and not get stuck.